My name is Thuy, Pham. I work at Creative Connections Arts Academy. I'm a 6th grade teacher. So I love doing the SEVAs. I love motivating my students to do the SEVA because it's such a great event. You know, this is where we bring all the creative thinking and the process outside of the classroom. You know, and you know, I tell the kids this is the closest thing to the Academy Awards that you guys will get to. So, and I'm taking it that most of you guys are planning. Anybody done the SEVAs yet? Okay, a couple of you guys. Awesome. Okay, and it's such a fun process. I mean, I think I've been doing it for 7 years now, and the first couple of years was trial and error. So I think that's the whole process you guys got to learn. I kind of broken it down my presentation to putting ingredients into a great video. Any of you guys ever cooked before? Anybody ever make something in the kitchen? Raise your hand if you ever made anything inside the kitchen. Help your parents? Okay, awesome. Okay, because that's where I'm going with. And some of you guys that are getting really fancy, either making cookies or making pizza, you guys probably have followed a recipe. Am I right? Okay, so, and a recipe helps out. A recipe really is functional when you guys really want to make that tasty dish. I mean, I know you guys can go through and just throw everything together, but I don't know if you guys ever try to make chocolate chip cookies and just start just mixing things together, right? Have you just thrown everything in the box and just started mixing? How did it turn out? Good? Kind of, yeah, exactly. So, and that's where I'm going to, because when you guys start to throw things together, your video is going to kind of come out okay, you know? But I think you guys are pushing for more, and I think you guys want more. I think you guys want that really awesome, tasty video where people look at it and go, wow, wow, that was yummy, that was good, right? Okay, and I'm sure you guys have all watched videos and saw videos and made the, oh, what was that look, right? So we've all been there. There is a website right there if you guys want to, my presentation. There's a lot of great links to a lot of the stuff that I am presenting. So the main important thing is why use video, okay? I came across a site, I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's called YouTube. It's really cool. I mean, it has like really good video. You guys ever use YouTube? Yeah, so, okay. Raise your hand if you guys have watched videos, some sort of video in the past 2 days. Raise your hand, please. So, yeah, and I think that's where we're at, okay? So, for teachers, why incorporate videos in the classroom? Because videos are such a big part of our lives now. I mean, we watch videos, we communicate through videos. Oh, you're gonna like this video, check this one out. Look at this skateboard video, look at this cooking video, look at this guy, it reminds me of you. If I don't know how to do something, I am going to watch something on YouTube. I mean, I have changed car parts, I've changed parts on the washing machine, from sewing to cooking. Yeah, I mean, it's most likely on YouTube if I need to learn something. So videos are a part of our lives, you know, and as an educator, I think by using videos, just searching out certain videos, it really motivates our students too. They love videos. They love to watch certain videos that really sparks an interest in them rather than, well, go to the textbooks, it's in your textbook. Okay, and it's really fun. It's really fun to create a video, to look back on the whole process and go, yeah, I made that, you know. Now, you don't need much, okay? I've gone through the whole spectrum of getting materials. I tried a lot of different stuff for my movie making classroom, and a lot of it has been trial and error. A lot of it has been successful. A lot of them has not been. But I've broken it down to these are my favorite things right here. You have the smartphone holder, which is roughly around $15. It's the one right here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring it because I couldn't find it. I think one of my students borrowed it. Here is another version of it. This is a cheaper version. It's around $3 or $4. And you honestly get what you pay for. It's $3 or $4. And it will break over time if you're not careful with it. I use this great device called the iSecure band. Okay, so I think it runs for, I don't know, like 15, no, it's a rubber band, but it sure works well because I use that for a lot of my production there. And you can, those of you guys using iPads or iPad mini, this is a great holder for it, and you turn it into, you turn it on, and you have video through it, so you have your device and you can shoot your video. And it comes with a different a side attachment to your tripod, but it's great to shoot video on your iPad. So it is an option. You can turn that to there. The next one is a monopod. Oops. A monopod is great. A monopod is, like I said, it's around $16. It's great for when you're on the go. It does a lot of things that you need. You put your camera on, and it functions just like that. And judging the SEVAs too, you guys can see, I'll get to your question in a minute. You guys, I would say almost half of the videos that are just awful, people don't use the tripod. Some sort of stabilization, because we call it the fire hose technique. People start to just shoot everywhere and you start to get seasick, you know, but just by stabilizing your shot, you have a chance. You don't, I'm not even joking, but half the footage that is submitted in there has no tripod, and you can tell it's really shaky footage, and it really turns off the judges. It just, you know, kids are not professional enough to really hand hold a device yet. So really get something to stabilize your shot, okay? And it's as cheap as $16. This one, again on Amazon, runs for about $20. So it's well worth the investment, okay? I like the monopod because it gives you a couple options too. I've mounted it on there and used the I-band secure one, and I can even get a high shot. So you can even get that high shot over. So it gives that aerial look. So you can do a lot with a monopod. So it doesn't take a lot of money. And the last set of equipment that I love is lighting, okay? Because lighting is super crucial to your video production. And here is a light clamp. And it adds a lot to your production. And I'm going to bring up a model later, and I'm going to show you guys how just bringing in an external light really makes a difference. And again, you know, this is not the big fancy lights that you see in Hollywood or the ones that you see right up there, but it does the job. And for $11, you know, you can get that. And another one that is a crucial part of the production is the reflector. Okay, and it's optional, but I love it. Okay, and it's used to bounce lights off and onto the subject. So sometimes when you're shooting outside, you have a lot of harsh shadows, and this does great for bouncing. And in all the big Hollywood productions, you see it, but they're out of frame usually. They're usually somebody squatting down right below the face and bouncing light up. Okay, and I even show you guys how a cheaper way to use a light reflector. But those are the equipment that I usually need to run any type of production. And I do a lot of video work. We just shot our full-length movie with my students. It's going to premiere at the Crest. So I do a lot of video work, and this is some of the equipment that we use. Now, what do I edit on? Okay, that's the million-dollar question. Okay, because it all depends on what you have. Oh, to backtrack really quick, the most important equipment is the camera. Okay, and that's up to you guys. You can go with a really expensive, you know, $1,000 camera. You can go with a $500 iPad. Most of my students shoot on an iPod. So just an iPod 4. So you don't really have to get fancy. You don't really, I went with $1,000 equipment, but they really shot bad stuff on a really expensive camera. So you're still going to get the same effect. I think the time and the effort that you need to put into it is the story. You know, a lot of people say, well, I'll get a really expensive camera and it looks really nice, but the story is really terrible. You guys have all been to movies where you sat through an hour and a half and you said, what was that? You know, I want my money back. You know, and it looks good, but it's the story's not there. So I think that's what we need to focus on. That's what kids really need to put the time and effort into, is the story. So, but again, the iPod is my main choice of, and this is what students use. And if they want to use the more expensive cameras, they actually have to shoot and reshoot and re-edit and redo a lot of work before they even get to the final product. I was telling Jim earlier that this is like the bicycle. Learn to ride the bicycle or learn to drive before you can drive the Ferrari, you know, because you don't go out and ask mom or dad, hey, I want the Ferrari at 16, you know. You have to learn how to drive first and know how to drive well, okay? I mean, I guess if you're rich, you can get the Ferrari, but, you know, so I guess we're not in that same boat. So it's up to you guys on how to shoot. And a lot of people have smartphones nowadays, so they have some sort of video capturing possibilities. So it's not way back then where it's hard to get a video camera. You know, you don't really even get an external video camera because your phone has it. So you have a way to capture footage. So, and then most phones can export out, so you actually have your good, decent video camera. The Sundance Film Festival, one of the films was nominated and won awards, and they shot it on an iPhone 5. So you don't need the camera, but I'm sure they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into the lighting and the planning of the shots. You know, and that's where we're heading to. Oops. Okay. Now, if you have an Apple device, if you have the newer one, The iMovie comes free. So I really recommend you using that. So it's free. If you guys have the older one, I found out I tried to download it on on my iPod, but it costs $5. But it's a great investment. So $5 for the iMovie is a wonderful editing platform that you guys need. The next one that is 80% I would recommend is Splice. I don't know for sure if it is on Android, but I know it's on iOS. And here's the icon right up there, Splice. It looks like that. But it's free, and most of my students use it, but I found out like the exporting is unreliable. Sometimes it exports out and you hear the audio, but you don't see the pictures, and we started all over, so it is a little bit frustrating. So it's not 100% reliable. I would say like it's 80% reliable, but again, it does the best job. It has 2 lines of audio. You can slow down things, you can crop, so it's a pretty good editing platform if you want to use that. If you are an Android user, then use WeVideo app. That's the best one on the market out there. Again, it's your preference, so But I found out I've used WeVideo on Chrome, and I found that was the best that it's comparable to iMovie. It has couple lines of audio. It slows it down. It crops. It does all that. If you guys are into stop motion or like claymation, then use iMotion again on OS. It's free and it's wonderful. It's just I use that a lot when we're using time lapse or stop motion with the kids using claymation, or we just did an area and perimeter project where they move little counters and little tidbits to show the Legos and stuff around there, and so. Yeah, I believe so. You might want to check because apps are coming out daily. So it's just I was using a couple editing software apps, and all of a sudden it just disappeared. The app was there, but it just when I clicked on it, it just went black. So it just sometimes comes up. So I don't know if they developed one iMotion for Android yet, but I know it's Apple. I'm a big Apple user, so I've had great luck with them. So and the WeVideo, that's the icon right there. So kind of give you what it looks like when you guys are doing your search. Okay. So my basic movie budget, because that's the thing, is that you guys are probably saying, well, I don't have much of a budget and probably costs a lot of money. And I was in your boat too. I didn't get any of this from my district. I did a lot of just out of budget of stuff from myself or just asking people. You can see it runs down to about $84. Okay. Editing platform depends on what you want to go for, about $5. A tripod, about $20. An iPhone adapter or a phone adapter, about $15. A light clamp and a bulb is about $15. Extension cord is highly recommended, is about $10. Light reflector, and that's optional, but again, highly recommended. It's about $19. And the most important is creativity is free. That's all you guys, you guys need to bring that into. So, and hopefully you guys have a lot of that, okay? Creativity and hard work. So that's, about $84, okay? Let me stop here. Did you have a question from earlier? I'm sorry. Yeah. You sure? Okay. What was your question? What's the phone adapter? The phone adapter is just that, like the phone adapter. This one was pretty neat. It's about $2 or $3 again, but it's not reliable. It really pops out. So again, putting that rubber band around it, really secure it. So just by putting a rubber band around it, it makes it a lot secure. So I always do that. And here's another little fun device. It's about $20. So, so you want to use the dollar, you take the iPhone, slide it up, you slide it over. The springs go bad on it, so that's what I've noticed. Secured in there, and there's your phone. So, so now you have you record your shots, and then you can have it over. So the phone adapter, rather than just have a hand held, you actually have something that's a little bit more secure. Okay, so great tool to have, though. Great tool to have. And like I said, if you really want to be taken seriously in SEVAs, you have to have some sort of tripod or hand device. Okay. If I'm going too fast, just let me know too. Okay. Now for SEVAs, the next part is what kind of project do I pick? If you're new to SEVAs, I always recommend doing the PSA, the public service announcement, basically the commercial. It's 30 seconds long. Okay. Kids really want to do well. My students really want to go in and do the big project. They really want to make the movie right away. But you know, it takes them about 3 weeks just to do the PSA. So the time frame, it takes a long time to do the video right. It takes a couple of days to plan out. It takes a couple of days to get the team together, to rehearse, and then to shoot, and then to edit. The editing process alone will probably take a week, you know, if you want to do it right. You know, you can throw it together again, like you said, like, you know, cooking. You can throw it together and it'll be okay. But if you really want to be nominated, or you really want to be taken seriously, take the time to plan. The instructional video, the how-to video, on a lot of the Apple devices, they have trailers now, which is really fun to make. You can incorporate into making book trailers, or like we've just done a trailer for like ancient Mesopotamia, like, you know, what would you expect in ancient Mesopotamia or ancient China? So we've done trailers for that. News stories, which you guys just saw earlier. Documentaries, there's short documentaries and long documentaries. Here's a video that my class created on just basic filming techniques.
To give your video a more professional feel. In the process, we'll teach you basic terminology so you understand how to direct your crew.
Let's first start out with different types of shot. A long shot shows background and establishes where you are. A mid shot shows the person's body, torso, and some background.
A close-up or head shoulder shot is used to show emotion. It usually draws attention to a face or an object. Focus on audio is happening video. Be cautious of Focus on your audio. Remember, audio is half of your video. Be cautious of where you shoot your footage. See the difference?
Using external lighting is the icing on the cake. It really adds a professional look to your video. It doesn't take much, but boy, does it make a difference.
If you want your video to look more professional, add different kinds of shots and angles to your production.
But most important, be creative and have fun with your video.
Just a fun little video that my students threw together. Can I have anybody want a model out? I need a model. Anybody want a model for me? Anybody? Come on up. Okay. I need a crew member. Anybody want to be a crew member? Okay, come on up. Okay, come on. Okay. Okay. Now, you can see the lighting. It's not bad. I mean, you see, that's the thing. When you are shooting video, you ready for it? Come on, this is Hollywood here. So it doesn't look bad, but when you add a little bit of extra lighting, you can see it really makes a big difference. Let me see. Okay, you see the difference? Just by adding a little bit of lighting. Now, this is a whiteboard, nothing fancy. So what you're going to do is, okay, you're going to look straight forward, okay, for me. Now, you can see the difference. You're going to hold this. What you're going to do is you're going to bounce some of that light. It's going to hit here, science lesson here. It's going to bounce and then reflect right back to his face. Okay, look forward, right out there. Okay, you're going to hold it up to his face. Okay, now, okay. See here, you're going to find the right lighting. Okay, right there. Okay, you guys see it's subtle, but sometimes you can see the lighting. Okay, do you guys? So right there, you're going to hold that lighting right there. Okay. So what you're doing is, since the lighting is hitting on one side of the face, what you want to do is capture that light, bounce it back, and try to hit the other side of the face. So it adds a big difference. Like I said, it's the icing on the cake. So you can have that, right? Yeah. Or, wait, one more. Ready? Ready? This is it. Pow. Look at that. Thank you, you guys. So, nice job. So it's just a little bit of that. And again, you just you just bought an $11 light to just to add to your production, and I've used PVC piping to clamp it on, so it's nothing too fancy. And you know, you can get the fancier lights and get the gels for it to add a little bit of blue colors or other colors to it, but it's not necessary. I mean, you can do things on a shoestring budget. The best lighting that you guys are going to find is outdoors. Okay, but you got to be very conscious of where the sun is hitting and where you're at too. You guys saw that audio piece right there, and that's true. Most of the kids decide to film inside the cafeteria, you know, where it's loud, or outside the playground. Now, you can probably hear your subject, but then when you go back, you know, the mics are really sensitive. It will probably record more than what you wanted. So be cautious there. If you can go around the corner where it's quiet, then you can. A key terminology that I tell all my students, because they know us around school, is to yell out, "Quiet on set." So that way they know that you are filming. So if somebody's having a side conversation, "Guys, I'm filming real quick. Can you just hold your conversation for 5 seconds? You know, I just do this one piece." And they're really respectful as long as you just explain what you're doing, you know. And they'll even sometimes help out, and they'll tell other people to be quiet. They're filming, you know. And then you get a little captive audience there and watch what you're doing. But it really is helpful when you really tell everybody, "Quiet on set." Right, camera's rolling. Go ahead. All right, guys, thank you very much. And then it makes a difference with the audio. Because remember, audio is half, okay? And that's what we noticed too, is that people that submit to the SEVAs, the audio is terrible. Basically, we throw it out. Because if you can't hear what's going on, basically, you don't understand what's going on. So it's basically disqualified. So really focus on your audio. I've created these recipes for you guys, so to speak. Whether you guys are interested in making PSAs, how-to videos, music videos, you guys just kind of have to follow those recipes, you know. And again, with recipes, you can vary them up. You can use 2 shots. These are just kind of recommendations of what will you use and what will you need in order to have like a PSAs. You know, research a topic for your PSAs. Include 2 or 3 important facts about it. Have a beginning, a middle, and end to your script and storyboard. I highly recommend a storyboard. A storyboard is the backbone of any of your piece because it really allows me as a teacher to see the project even before they're out there shooting. I can look at a piece and go, "I notice you only have one type of shots here. You only have mid shots. How come you don't have any close-up shots?" "Oh, we're going to have a close-up shots." "Well, when are you going to incorporate that in there?" You know, if somebody's the camera person, you basically give them the storyboard and goes, "This is what I want." I mean, you're taking everything from that storyboard and you're creating it. If it's a close-up shot, that's the close-up shot that you guys should capture. So it should be true to what you draw there. And I've used stick figures, so you don't have to be that artist. Use your iPhone and take pictures. This is the shot that I want right here. So the camera person should recreate that. So that's the important part of a storyboard. My students do not leave the classroom if they want to shoot outside. We're going to go shoot outside. They cannot leave the classroom unless they have a script and storyboard on hand because it makes the production go a lot smoother. Okay, so. And then again, focus on your sound because it's really important. The storyboard, I've done it enough where I just want to understand what shot is sequenced me. Okay, this is what we're doing next. This is what we're doing next. This is what shot. So that way when we go out in the field, we don't forget about that shot. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this shot, you know. So just drawing that stick figures, oh, we need that over the shoulder shot. Next one, swing the camera around. It's efficient. It'll just save you time.
Are you doing detailed stuff or are you doing descriptive stuff along with the visual stick figures? Or
I'll just put down type of movements, mid shots, things. They're notes more for the director and more for the camera person. So, you know, if there's a little bit of movement, just a reminder to make sure that he spins around or he's doing that. Just a mid shot, just to explain to the camera person that it is a mid shot. It can be as detailed as you want, or it can be just as vague as you want. But I think that process is really important. It's following through when you're out there to kind of understand what you need to do. I have kids out there that are just filming, but they don't know what to do, and they spend an hour just setting up and getting one shot. Where it's like you need to go out there, get that first shot. Then go out there and get the next shot. Go out there and get the next shot. So it really does follow through, you know. And then if I see it on the storyboard, you guys need to come back in 30 minutes and I want to see 4 shots. I want to see these 4 shots at least created. So that way it gives them a goal too and what to do. Rather than, well, we couldn't do this or that. Why not? You have the shots set up. Go and capture them. You know, it's up to you how well you rehearse and just go and capture the shot. So, And then that's why everybody's writing the script or rehearsing, the camera person can practice that shot too. They can just grab any subject and go, okay, I created the storyboard, go out and practice that shot that you want. Go practice that over the shoulder shot or capture that movement shot. You need a dolly shot right now. The one clip that you saw with the laptop that's spinning around was just used with the table dollies, the $20 device where you put your phone on, and it gives movements to your shots. So you just slowly slide it. And that's, again, separating from the beginning to advance, is adding a lot of movements to your shots. You will look at any Hollywood movie, as people are talking, the camera moves in a little bit. Just a slightly movement just gives that feel, or moves out. Or you can see that pan to the left or pan to the right. And they use a lot of slider shots. It gives it just a more professional feel. And again, you can, I've used it where I just put it on a book and just slowly slide it. So, but it gives that professional edge. Like what Jim says, when we're watching that, I go, ooh, dolly shot, good job. They know what they're doing. They're adding a little bit of spice to it. Again, when you're cooking, you use a lot of basic stuff. Cooking eggs, salt and pepper. But when you add a little something to that, you're like, ooh, I just tasted rosemary. Did you put rosemary in there? Yeah, I did. Just a spring, you know, it really adds to your dish. So I think that's what you guys are doing. You can make a plain dish. You can make a plain video. Or you can start adding a little bit of spice to it, you know? Go out there and experiment. Okay, that shot didn't work. When you're out in the field too, overshoot. Shoot a couple things, shoot a couple angles. You might not use all of it, but yet at least it's better to have that shot just in case you need it. Because I'll tell you what, you shoot on a Wednesday and you want to shoot on a Thursday, guess what happens? Everybody's wearing different clothing, you know? And that's the hard part too. Oh, we need to shoot that one scene because you messed up your line. Well, then you got to get all the same clothing. We're getting to the point where you got a haircut. Why'd you get a haircut? Because we need to refilm that, you know, or color your hair. When we do our video production, they have to sign a waiver that they're not going to get a haircut, like mainly for girls. You're not going to get a haircut. You're not going to do this for 4 months because that's the production right there. We don't have money to put wigs on or extensions on, but it's like for our production, you don't do that. So, you know. So it's understood. I mean, it's, again, you can get really intricate in, you know, Hollywood style and understand the business and understand how they do it. But, you know, in Hollywood, they have 3 or 4 shirts, the same shirts, just in case if you spill something on it or rip the shirt, they have all that in wardrobe. Sometimes it's easy when we shoot a production that I have clothes already for them. Go to the Old Navy, I buy all the clothing, go, look, there's your wardrobe. As soon as you shoot, you change out of it and leave it here, so that way if we need it, we shoot it again, the clothing's always here. I got into video when I was in 6th grade. I think that's what's really entertaining because whatever I thought up, I can do. And nowadays, back then, I used VCRs and big old hunking cameras. Nowadays, you have that equipment at your hand. And it's awesome to think of a project or think of an idea and to put it down on paper. And then all of a sudden, somebody else is acting it out and it comes to life. And you're like, oh my gosh, I thought of that idea. I did that. That came from my head. And that's really awesome. And it's visual, too. And that's what a lot of kids and a lot of people like. So if you don't have the equipment, just it's out there, and we can let you borrow it. Doug's been a great resource too, and he's helped out. And anytime we needed things, and you know, he either guided me or helped me out into finding it. So where there's a will, there's a way.